Hello everyone, welcome to Amani's Lightwork Keys to Akasha section of my channel. For those of you who are new or you're visiting, welcome. It's great to have you here. I hope that you decide to stay and join my lovely family that I have here, okay? Before I begin with the reading I'm going to be doing, I just want to give a little information about this section of my channel and my channel as a whole, okay? Every reading that is covered here is solely based on my ability to channel and receive information through spirit and my ability of clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, etc. There's about 6 clairs. I'm just letting you know, okay? And then I'm also, how I receive information, I also interpret it with the cards, okay? So receive, interpret, receive, interpret. That's how, if you're interested in learning how tarot works, how mediumship works, to be more precise, it's everything is interpretation. You're exercising how you receive information, you're exercising intuition and the meanings of the cards, okay? It could be fun, it could be interesting. I do feel this has been a really, it's been a learning experience for me, especially the way I receive messages and how I interpret messages, and my experience with how spirit helps me understand who or what I'm reading for, okay? I've learned a lot along the way, okay? Spirit teaches me things. That's that. And in terms of who I'm going to be reading for, today I went out to run a few errands, and I needed some direction. So I asked, I just happened to ask the closest person, or at least a person that was available on the same block that I was walking down, and I stopped that person. I said, do you know where A and B are? Okay. So I asked them, and what's interesting is that they happen to be an older Trinidadian man, okay? So I'm actually going to be doing a reading for Nicki Minaj's father, Robert Mirage, okay? And I feel like that was definitely spirit communicating with me through a person I don't even know, in terms of the man that I got directions from. And then when I came home, I was thinking about him, and I said, you know what? Maybe I should do a reading on him, okay? And what was interesting about it was that the man, he was outside of his car, and he just came out of nowhere. But he had Trinidadian, he had a Trinidadian flag like seat covers on, and that's how I knew he was Trinidadian, okay? His accent too, yeah. All right, so let's see what energies we can pick up. Tried to meditate. I usually try to do a little bit of a meditation for the spirit, invite the energy of the spirit so that I can, receive messages properly. Okay. All right. Okay, he was a Taurus, born May 16th. He was 64 when he passed. So he was just a year older than my father when my father passed. And my dad was 63, okay? As I was meditating, the first thing that I was getting was that he was trying to invest money. Either just invest, period. I mean, of course, when you're going to go down the investing route, you're going to invest some money somewhere, like a building, an apartment building, a commercial property, residential property. Investing could mean wherever he was living at the time of his passing, investing into that property, investing into a commercial or residential property in Trinidad or another state, etc. I'm just giving examples, but that was literally the first thing I heard. I was trying to invest. His energy was like, I was trying to invest money. Okay. But let's see what's going on. And investing could mean anything. Investing could also mean investing in the family. If it's not anything that you're dealing with, contractor and investment bank situation, then it's investing in the family, it's investing in work, it's investing. But the idea that I am getting energetically would mean that he literally was trying to invest, like doing research to look for fellow investors, someone to partner with, contractors, people like that. Okay, but let's see. Okay, so the card that's underneath is the Three of Wands. He was a Taurus. I know I mentioned that before, but Three of Wands could be other fire signs like Leo's, Sag, Aries elements. I don't know the sign of his wife, Nikki's mother. I don't know her sign. But Nikki definitely, she's a Sag, okay? I do feel like he may have been communicating with her. If that's a financial need of some kind, it could be related to the investing that he wanted to do. The spirit is also giving me the idea of a cousin. And a cousin could have been an investor, or a cousin, I get the word collaboration with a cousin. So I don't know if the cousin lived in and was living in NYC, because I believe he was in Long Island at the time of his passing. But in terms of a cousin, that individual, they either live near, or they live, they could live in NYC, they live in New York, or they could live somewhere else. But there's this idea of being involved with that individual, and also there's an investment tie between him and a cousin. Okay, it doesn't have to be a cousin. There could be he could have had an investment tie between him and his daughter. He could have had an investment tie between him. I get it, like an older man. Yes, he was an older man, but he could have also had some type of investment tie with another man that the spirit is describing to be older. I get this idea of facial hair. Like an older guy that has facial hair, it could be like a gray beard, it could be a goatee, it could be a mustache. It's just giving me like he could have had something like that going on facially. But I do feel like it was someone he was trying to connect to, someone he was trying to work with. I do get the idea of Hispanic, like this could be a Hispanic male that he could have been trying to do some type of investment deal with, that fits that description of someone that has a beard or mustache or a goatee. Okay, I get stole as I'm talking about that person. So if it is a Hispanic male, doesn't have to be a Hispanic male, could be a white male, a Hispanic male, black male, but the spirit is giving me an idea of a Hispanic male with face, like someone is older about them, they have facial hair that actually fits the description of the man that they claimed hit him with the car, the hit and run incident. But I feel like that the description of the man that I'm getting is they're also darker, like a darker Hispanic man that has facial hair. Okay, that individual could have stolen some type of money that he could have been trying to invest. Now I'm being drawn to a contractor as well. So the Hispanic male that I was describing, whatever male he could have been interacting with, that person, like they stole money from him somehow. Okay, something was going on, but I was getting the idea of a contractor. They could have been a contractor, like a Hispanic contractor. Okay, they're a contractor of some kind, someone that he was looking to communicate with, to invest, to like do. Typically with contractors, they're people, he could have been doing research to find this person. I get pricey. So when I said that they were pricey, he could have decided to go with them, like go with them in terms of work with them, and he could have hired them, or at least try to hire them, but they were pricey. Like they were pricey. But I'm getting this idea that they never did the work. Like they never did the work for whatever kind of blueprint he could have given the contractor. They never did the work. So this could have been something that happened in the past. This could have been something that happened like in the past, or like leading up to his passing. And so I'm trying to do it in chronological order. Okay, so the person was pricing, and he could have discussed a payment plan with that individual. Like the cousin that the spirit was saying, he could have been trying to get financial help from that cousin to pay this contractor, this investor, this person that he's trying to do this blueprint, trying to map out this blueprint for a building, a commercial property, a residential property, but he didn't have enough funds for this. Like there's that idea of not having enough money to complete a project, that involves construction of some kind, okay? Some type of construction, a contractor, you know what I mean? The contractor wasn't really communicating with him. They have been giving him very little communication, and then they were also really pricey. But then there's also this idea that Spirit is giving me that they disappeared on him. Like this is someone that they disappeared on him somehow. So he could have him not having enough, or he had enough and he paid someone that the Spirit is saying was pricey. He could have given that person a percentage of money that they did ask for. Like, I'll just give an example, 2K, 200K. He could have, I get split when I said 2K, 200K, 200,000. He could have had that split down the middle, or that was an agreement that he did have with an investor. That was an agreement, another investor. He would be considered an investor as well, some type of investor. Then he's also communicating with a contractor. I get disagree. They disagree about the split, about splitting $200,000 in half, splitting 2K in half. I mean, you know, it just 2,000 between two. You have $2,000. You have $200,000. If it's $200 that he's discussing with this contractor, that, you know, can I give you $100,000? I'll give you the other $100,000 at the end of May, at the end of June, at the end of July, etc. I'll get it for you. I will contact my cousin, my daughter, whoever, to help me with this payment. You know, it will be easy for them. 200K may be like pennies to somebody, but he could have literally had that type of communication. But that individual that he's trying to you know, crack a deal with, they're disagreeing with. I also get a payment style, or like a payment, like a discussion about splitting a payment period, or some type of payment style. It could have been the way he was paying someone. Could have been something like that. The way he was paying somebody. Could have been, they either discussed it or they didn't discuss it. Or it's like payment in increments. Like it's like broken up. Like however, you know, you decide, you can come up with, you know, ways into how 200K could be broken up in pieces over the course of like 6, 7, 8, 10 months. How you want to break up that, like 10, you know, it could be 20,000 here, 20,000 there, 20,000, however you want to break up those payments. But somebody disagreed with that payment style, and then they also disagreed with the idea of even breaking apart a payment in increments or breaking it in half. They disagree with that. Like somebody wants their money on the table as is. Like they don't want it broken up in pieces. They don't want it broken up in pieces. Okay. All right, so the starting point has the moon. This is a sign of Pisces, so he could have been dealing with a Pisces. One of those elements could have been a Pisces, a family member, a contractor, another investor, whoever. Pisces element here. It's also intuition, okay? Intuition would be the starting point, and it keeps giving me the idea of the contractor, like a contractor. I also get shady, like something is really shady about another investor, or like a contractor that he was involved with. Like something was shady about them. They weren't answering his phones. I get, like, they weren't answering his phone calls. They could have blocked him, something like that. Like there's like this really eerie communication between him and this other individual. They're not answering phones. They're not answering phone calls. I keep getting the word disappear. Like he could have been using his intuition that someone disappeared. I also get with a payment. Someone that he was doing business with or trying to do business with, they disappeared with a payment that he gave him. They disappeared with the payment. That's why this energy is here. So he's thinking that he's never going to get, I also get failed work. He's thinking he's never going to get his money back from some type of failed project that he wanted somebody to work on for him. A contractor, like I keep getting this idea of like a contractor, another investor, someone to give him some type of ideas. Going to be like a real estate agent. I don't feel that yet. I just feel like it's a contractor or someone he gave money to do something for him specifically, and they either when I said that too, one element about it, they never came back with the money. Then there's this idea of having a contractor, paying for a contractor, giving the contractor some type of down payment, whoever the individual is, and they're not coming back with the money, or they could have taken the money, and disappeared. They could have just taken the money and disappeared totally, and they never finished a project. They never did a project, or it started. They never started a project that he wanted them to work on. They never started it. That's another element about it. So they took the money, disappeared. Then they took the money, disappeared, never did the project, never started the project, or something's going on with one element about it, someone that he wanted to do something for him, and they're not only a contractor, just a person that he was doing some type of investor work with. He gave them a down payment for something, and no, he wanted them to do something, and they never brought back the money for it, whatever kind of assignment that was. Okay, that's what he was using his intuition about. The waiting position has the Six of Pentacles energy, so the Six of Pentacles would be his energy in other earth signs. Six of Pentacles would be charity, would be given back. You know, I'm getting an idea of community, so it could be some type of community work, like a community project of some kind. Now I'm being drawn to like a, what do you call it, like a real estate agent, like a real estate broker of some kind. He could have discussed with a real estate agent or broker. He could have discussed a way to buy a property to help. I also get the idea of homeless. Like someone could have been homeless that he was given money to borrow. I mean, that could have been one situation. Or like homeless as in like he could have been trying to do something for homeless people, like build like a residential property for homeless people. That could have been another situation. Or like the spirit also said community, like a community center. You know, like a community center he could have been trying to invest in, buy, change. But that was the project. So the spirit is telling me that was the project. When I said community center that he was trying to buy and change, whatever it was, a community center, a residential property, some type of property that could have been dilapidated. Some type of property that was like dilapidated, nobody cared about it. He was trying to get that. Like he was trying to either like turn it into a studio, turn it into a residential property, fix it and have people use it again. Like there's so many dilapidated and run down places that somebody could just take or rent. They could just take it and rent it and fix it up if they have the money to do it. But every time I touched this, they never came back. They never, like, they disappeared. But I'm also getting this interesting feeling like they knew who he was. Like they knew he was Nicki Minaj's father. You know, someone knew that he was. And that could have been why they were, you know, moving the way they did with him as well. But the Six of Pentacles would be that I was getting an idea of like a real estate agent or like some type of real estate broker, but was giving him problems. So as I'm talking about that individual, that could be a new person, or that could be the same person. They were giving him some type of problems. I'm also getting an idea of Russian. Is Polovich a Russian name? I don't know if that's a Russian name necessarily, but I'm just getting the idea of someone that is Russian. This could have been like a Russian community. The person that may have owned the property prior that he's looking into, this building, this community center, this housing complex, whatever it was. It could have been a Russian agent of some kind, like a Russian broker. Someone was Russian that he like had what do you call it? Someone was Russian that he I also get cut ties with. Someone was Russian that he could have cut ties with. Something is Russian. Like it's either somebody's ethnicity is Russian, or it could have been like a Russian community, something like that. Or it's a person that he was interacting with was Russian, or one of them. It could be like a few people that he's trying to look for that they just happen to be Russian. I don't know, something about it. Something about them, or something about the community was Russian. I don't know what it was. Something about the community that he was trying, something about it. Okay? But the spirit saying that was that I don't know, for some reason the spirit, that's something is important about that. But at the same time, that whoever that broker was, that agent was, they were giving him problems. Like, they could have been giving him problems on purpose. It just depends what it was, you know. I do get this feeling too that they could have ended up a property that he did want, that he was trying to invest in and fix up and hire a contractor to work on. That property ended up being given to, I get after that I almost said problem, yes. That property ended up being given to someone after he passed, or after someone disappeared on him. Like, after something, that property ended up being given to somebody else that they may have really wanted it to go to. It just depends on what's going on, you know, with the Six of Pentacles in the waiting position. Okay, the present has the Three of Swords energy. So Three of Swords would be if a property ended up going to someone else, if a broker ended up giving a property to someone else, you know. It could have ended up giving him a Three of Swords. But I also get this idea of looked elsewhere. So he could have ended up looking elsewhere for some type of property, or buying somewhere, like a new home, whatever it was he was trying to do. He got turned down originally. Now there was a situation where he ended up looking elsewhere. I do get a question, you know, why he didn't understand why they were giving him such a hard time. Like, they may have been giving him a hard time. You know, they were giving him a hard time with, now it's drawing me back to the idea of a payment. Someone was giving him a hard time with a payment, or the way, the way, if he's interacting with a broker, the investor, or the contractor, he's interacting with that new person after someone left him. I also get an alternative. So when I said after someone left him, someone new could have then given him some type of alternative. Like an alternative contractor. Like, if he got that far to the point where he's interacting with a contractor, real estate agent, a broker, etc., something, they disappeared with his payment, or they weren't communicating with him, they were blocking his number, whatever it is that they were doing, he could have complained. Wherever they came from, he could have complained to someone about that person. So whoever he complained to, they're then giving him some type of alternative. This is who I could then have you work with this person instead. I could then have you communicate with this new contractor, this new broker, this new whatever. It's a business interaction that he's having. I could then have you communicate with that individual, since someone disappeared from you, since someone was blocking your number, since they didn't bring your money back, or they never brought the money at all, since they disappeared. I'm going to then provide you with another functional. I'm going to then provide you with another functional individual that you can then take your plans to. And we're going to work out something new here, But I also get this feeling of not understanding, or like Three of Swords would be not understanding why. There's a lot of confusion where I had a real estate agent. There's a lot of confusion with his interaction that he had with a real estate agent, either like an old one or a new one. Like, there's confusion with it. It's either, I don't know if racism is involved with that. I'm getting the idea of Hispanic, like someone that is Hispanic, like as a Hispanic individual. I don't know if it could have been a Hispanic like real estate agent, a Hispanic investor, and Hispanic broker, contractor. Someone was Hispanic that someone was Hispanic that he was referred to, like a darker Hispanic individual he was referred to by someone. Or that could have been the description of a person that disappeared from him, or that's just someone he was referred to. So the spirit implying that this new Hispanic individual, this man, and like the spirit is telling me that they're an older Hispanic man, he's interacting with them, but it knows what he's doing. So when I said that, they knew what they were doing. Like, they knew what they were doing, like with him, like they knew what they were doing. But at the same time, it's like he's still trying to the intuition is, the question still lies. Why did they change? Why did they change the contractor? Why did the real estate agent change? Why did the broker change? Why did whoever change? Why did they change their mind? Why didn't it show up? Whatever it was. So the Hispanic, some type of man, there's another older man, not the one that hit him. There's an older man that he ended up interacting with, that he was like referred to. He was referred to by that, like he was referred to them by someone, something like that. So the future has the sign of Libra as the Justice card. And then the instincts has the Two of Cups energy. So Two of Cups could mean like a partnership with somebody. It could be that male that I'm describing. You know, it could be the male that I'm describing. But I'm feeling didn't have enough money for. Like, if this is someone that he's being hooked up to work with on some type of project, he really didn't have enough money to pay that individual. So whoever he was referred to, okay, I see what's going on here. In the beginning, he has this this idea that he went hunting for a contractor or a real estate agent, right? That person didn't follow through with their promise, or they disappeared. Somehow they just disappeared, poof, gone. He could have found them through an agency, like he could have found them through some type of company. That's one element about it. And he could have contacted the company. To Three of Swords could have contacted the company to complain about their disappearance, about them disappearing with funds, this, that, and the third. He could have literally been in a situation where he could have wanted to take somebody to court, but they disappeared. That's like one weird element about it. He's dealing with that. Then on top of it, he's looking elsewhere. The Spirit said he ended up looking elsewhere for a new contractor, real estate agent, a new investor, whoever he needed for some type of project. So then he's being referred to somebody else. I get devious. He's being referred to somebody else, that something on the surface is okay looking about them, but underneath they're devious. Like something is underneath, but I get work with the old one. So underneath they're devious. It's not showing on the outside. They work with the old one. Like they end up working with the old contractor, broker, agent that he originally that disappeared from him. Whoever he got referred to knows where that individual. Okay. Oh my God. Oh Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Okay. I gotta pause on this in 1 second. It's a lot of information. One element about this is that he could have paid somebody $200K to do something specific for him, and they could have ran off with the money, or they disappeared, or they told him that they were going to get back to him and never did, or they never finished a project. They didn't even start the project. That person he ended up having problems with, and he could have ended up making plans to take that individual to court. That's one. Then out of complaining about that, he was then referred to someone new out of the same company, or like a neighboring company, some agency, whatever it was. So he was then referred to someone new that the Spirit is saying they know that first. Okay, Jesus, they know that individual that he was assigned to before, or that he found on his own. Like they know that person, or they know what that individual that disappeared. I get that what they did with the money, or where they are with the money, what they did with the money. That's like there's a couple of different strange things that are taking place there. Like they know. So this is like two men that I get a heist. There's two men that they're on a heist here. They're on a heist with his money. But this is like how this is happening is because I get this idea. It has something to do with where he was trying to move to, where he wanted to move to, or where he wanted to do a business. It has something to do with that. Something he was definitely trying to do with that. So they then like they're in a heist. So it could have been done on purpose that he was referred to someone that ended up knowing the same person that disappeared on him with some. They could have disappeared on him with some type of payment that he already gave them, and then he's being referred to somebody new that they know where that person went with that payment, or they know why they weren't answering. Like they know why that individual wasn't answering, or they fake disappeared. Like they fake disappeared from him. So he's then being referred to someone that is equally as devious, but the Spirit said it was a plan. Like they planned this weird heist on him like that. Like they planned that heist. Like they weren't gonna let him move to some type of area. Like they weren't gonna let him like do. It could be racism involved in it. The Spirit was giving me this idea of Russian. Like I mean, there's some parts of Long Island that it's beautiful. Like there's beautiful homes there. He may have been trying to move to like a new, a newly built development, or he could have been trying to build something. Like he could have been trying to build a home on a piece of land. Could have been trying to do something like that in Long Island. Like Long Island is really nice. Like, there's beautiful homes in Long Island. Something was Russian about it. Like there could have been Russian people. It could have been like a Russian community, or there were Russian people living over there. So there could have been racism involved, where they didn't want him to build there or move there. So if it's like a real estate agent, he's interacting with the real estate agent, give the real estate agent money. And I want this house. Like, I want to move to this place. It's beautiful. I want to move to this house. I want to build here. Three of Swords, they weren't going to let him do that. But they're going to take his money and not even I also get a refund. They didn't give him back some type of refund. They didn't give him back a refund. Like, they disappeared without giving him a refund for the place. But they disappeared, and they're trying to act like they're not hearing his calls and things. They don't want him to move to some type of community. So he either wanted to build a property somewhere, and had contractors involved, or he wanted to physically move to a new place and still have contractors involved. Like, I want my garden this way. You know what I mean? Like, somebody wasn't going to let that happen in their said community. So he's communicating, and he's being referred to this, that, and the third person, and they're repeating the same patterns back to back to back to back with his money, with his time. My God. The Page of Cups energy is here. Next to the Page of Cups could be like his child, like one of the children that, like I don't know if that's like I don't know if he had any siblings necessarily. Like, he could have had a few siblings, like a younger sibling, or like I was getting from before, like a cousin. Like, a cousin could have been trying to give him some ideas. The cousin was coming through earlier on. Like, a family member could have been giving him ideas into where to move. Like, he could have been thinking maybe go back to Trinidad. Like, I was getting that from the beginning. He could have been trying to be really set on trying to do something back in Trinidad, move back to Trinidad. But he may not have wanted to leave the U.S. Like a cousin could have been in Trinidad still, and the cousin could have been, or they were just traveling there, or they're there, and they could have been suggesting, come back home, just come back, just come back to us, come back here. He was dealing with some type of racism with wanting to build or buy a property, or buying the property and having it like having contractors work on it or something, and there's racism involved with that. There's some type of odd racism involved with that, and there's a heist plan that there's these individuals that they have this really interesting heist that's on him. But the Page of Cups energy, it was not only like a child, or like a Page of Cups could be one of the contractors or the real estate agents that he was interacting with. They could have been younger than him. One of them was younger. Like, they could be shown up here like a page. They're shown up there. They're in the accomplishment next to, but I get return. So if they are someone he's communicating with business-wise, they returned. Spirit said they returned. So whoever disappeared, that person ended up returning with money, or they just returned, or they managed to contact him again. They could have managed to contact him again. Just depends on what's going on. For whatever reason, like I also get this idea of like I don't know if there's like court documents or some type of document that is needed for something like insurance. It could be insurance involved here as well too. That could be what I see what's going on. One element is that they could have disappeared on him with a payment, with or without a payment. And another element about it is that they could have reappeared, or they returned to get some type of document from him they could have claimed that, okay, this is a scenario that they're coming up with in their brain. They're telling him, I left, and I have your payment, and I have this, that, and the third, finalizations and whatever it is that you want done, blueprints, etc. But I realized that I don't have, I didn't have you sign this paperwork. I didn't have you sign this documentation in order to seal a deal here. Like I realized that I didn't get your paperwork. I didn't get your signature. I didn't get this, that, and the third. Something could have been fake about that too. Something could have been not real about that. Something was shady. That's why I was getting the idea. Something was shady about that movement that they had with him. Something could have been fake about the documents. Something could have been fake about the documents. But I also get the idea of a fax, like a fax number. Something could have been fake about a fax number that this person is returning with these documents, and they're saying this is the number that you can fax those documents to. Something may not. I keep getting a scam. This is the number that you can fax the documents to. Spirit said it was a scam. The whole fax number, the number, all that was a scam. Three of Swords. Jesus. The spiritual self has the King of Wands. All right, Leo, Aries, predominantly Leo card, Sag, Aries male, next to the Six of Pentacles. They could be the energy of a cousin, or they were giving me. I was getting the court situations as well too. Something could be going on with that. That something could have ended up getting court related. This could have ended up being a court related problem. Like, this could have ended up being a court related issue. King of Wands next to the Six of Pentacles. They could be law enforcement. They could be someone that works in the court. They could be the energy of the person that I was saying that he then was referred to after somebody else fucked up, or that could be that person. You got a Page of Cups here. And then that's why the Two of Pentacles is here, because one of these elements return. All these cups in this section, it could be a Pisces, whatever water sign. They're like a young real estate agent or contractor, something, investor, something about them. They're coming back to him with some, I keep it in fake. They're coming back with some type of fake paperwork, some type of debauched situation. Then there's a King of Wands, could be like a new reference. Like the King of Wands could also be like a new reference next to the Six of Pentacles. But something is shared. So when I said like next to the Six of Pentacles, something is also shared, like about his communications with this person. Like they shared whatever information Robert shared with this individual, that they then gave that individual to a Page of Cups, to somebody else, or somebody on this side. That individual, Page of Cups energy could have sent information to them. They could have sent some type of intimate information to them. But it's funds related, so it has a lot to. That's why the Six of Pentacles is next to the King of Wands. It has to do with funds. It has to do with funds that he gave, or he didn't get, or he didn't give. But it could have something to do with funds that they were able to make. So Page of Cups energy could have given a portion. Page of Cups could have ended up giving the King of Wands energy a portion of what they collected from Robert, vice versa. Like, this is a situation where he really doesn't know where this money went. Like, there's like these men, they created some type of really interesting heist with his information and things that he's trying to do, and he's giving people payments, and there's no refund. Something that he tried to do, there's no refund. Somebody has whatever he paid for that he didn't get, that money went to two people. Like, they split that. Like, they split it in half or something. They split it in half somehow. And this individual has a portion of his pay, that individual has a portion of his pay. Like, it's like giving this idea of two men. Like, these one of them, the spirit was saying, I don't know, one of them is like Russian. The spirit kept giving me that idea, or one is Hispanic. Like, there's something, or if one of them isn't Hispanic, there's a Hispanic male that he did end up interacting with that has to do with this situation. It's a lot. The mentality, now you got another man here. King of Swords energy. So King of Swords or King of Wands, King of Swords could be, I get culprits. King of Swords, King of Wands, they're culprits. So the Page of Cups, it works with them. Page of Cups energy works, the man or woman, Page of Cups works with these two elements here. Works with a King of Swords and a King of Wands energy. An Aquarian, Gemini, Libra man. Could be a Libra. They're Libras in the future. Or like with Gemini, whatever air sign male. These two elements, they're culprits. They're shown up here like culprits. That's why you got Three of Swords energy. You have the Three of Wands energy underneath resides with King of Wands, working with them, and they're doing something really shady. That's one scenario. King of Swords resides with Three of Swords. These are two shady men that they created some type of heist on him. They created a heist. Okay, they created a heist there with his information and money and facts and contracting and buying homes and community centers and whatever it was that he was trying to do. He could have been trying to do this for a while, or I get more than one property. He could have been trying to invest in more than one property with the help of Nikki, with the help of a cousin, whatever it was. Cousin was the cousin. One of the, I don't know. One element could be a cousin. There was a cousin that was trying to help. The cousin, I don't feel like it's really. I'm not trying to focus on the cousin too much. Their energy is just on the surface, but they could have been trying to give him recommendations. Go back to Trinidad. I don't know, something like that. Go invest in Trinidad. Do something different. Like leave there. There's someone's racist about some interactions that he had with some men here that he's dealing with. Racist or prejudice. Like you could be in the same ethnic group as someone and you could be in the same ethnic group and or racial group as someone and still be prejudiced of the person. I mean, for whatever neurological reason that somebody has that going on. Okay, but the King of Swords is in the mentality with the two. I keep getting this idea of a new recommendation. They could, what I was picking up earlier, one of these elements is like one of them is an old recommendation, one of them is a new recommendation. Like the Spirit said, new recommendation. They could have been coming in to give him a new recommendation. That's why the Two of Cups is up here in the headspace with them. Mentality, instincts. They're coming in to give. They could be a new recommendation from King of Wands. That could be why the Page of Cups is right next to, if it's not only a person, that could be why the Page of Cups is next to the moon, because the Page of Cups would be some type of emotional offer. King of Wands could have been coming in and trying to say King of Swords will be the new person that you'll end up with, that you'll end up communicating with, business communications with. But they're not good. Like, they're not a good person. Like, if you look at the King of Swords energy, and they're like, look, they're actually, it looks like they're drawing or they're doing something artistic with they're drawing on a piece of parchment. That's what a contractor would do. That's what a contractor would do. An investor would do. Gives people ideas, give people home ideas, point out things to them, do all that kind of stuff. Could be an office environment. He went to go, I also get confront. So you could have went physically to an office environment to confront somebody here. He went to an office environment, like somebody's office, like their agency. Like he went there physically to confront someone. He went there physically. Then law enforcement could also have gotten involved. They did or they did not. Or I also get this idea of serve. Like he could have been really trying to go serve somebody. Like court serve them. So the idea of the documents from earlier on, if it's not only something he was trying to do, for his family and faxing things over, then it's like something isn't right. He could have I keep getting this idea of court orders and serving. Like he could have went to go get he could have been going in to get documentation for that, to then sue them. That was ringing in my ear earlier on. He was trying to sue them. Sue an agency, sue a contractor, sue a broker. He was trying to sue somebody. Because he could have found out what was going on with the money. Somebody could have been throwing money back and forth that was his and not doing anything with it. Like they were throwing money back and forth, throwing documentation back and forth, not doing anything with it, not processing it. So he's finding out, he's realizing something's not right here. Why is it taking so long? Why is it not finished? Why are they not getting back to me at the time that they said that they would? They're not doing anything. They didn't want to. Or they plan a heist. The heist is they're aware that he's Nicki Minaj's father. So they're gonna heist him. They're gonna heist. They're heisting him. They ran a heist on him. But you know what's interesting about this? He had no protection. Like, he had no protection. You know, as her father, for some reason he had no. I find it interesting that he had no protection. I would deem him to have some type of protection, whether, you know, it could be spiritual protection and financial protection. Some type of protection. I'm not talking bodyguard protection. I'm talking, you know, protection. Like, typically, you know, I mean, you know what I mean when I say protection. Like, if I am an individual and, say I'm, a part of high society, you know what I mean? Like, there would be a situation where, you know, my parent or my sibling, you know what I mean, they would have some type of, you know, that could have been something that she herself, Nikki, could have inquired about. Like, she, you know, getting them, like, I'll give you a perfect example. If she were to tackle them, they would lose. You know, if she were to tackle this situation that her father ended up in, they would lose. But I also get this feeling they would give up what they stole. Like, they would give up what they stole. They would give up what they stole. With easily. Like, you know, why give him this kind of a hard time? Like, why do that to her father? You know, like, why do that to her father? You know. All right, let's see. The changing position has the Four of Cups. It's changing, so he no longer he no longer had this feeling with a Page of Cups energy, with the Four of Cups, you know. But I went on that tangent. Oh my God, I went on that tangent and I forgot what I wanted to talk about before I went on that tangent. There was a situation here where I wanted to get back to the serving, like serving somebody in court. Or going to serve, you know, when people show up to the door, you got served. You know, he could have been trying to do that to somebody. He could have been trying to go do that, or at least get the documentation to go do that and fill it out. Could have needed one of their information. But I get this idea of real name. Like, someone that he was dealing with business-wise, they may not have been given their real name. Somebody here wasn't given him, they never gave their real name. They never gave their real name. I don't know what the sign of that man is that hit him. Charles Polvich. That sounds Russian. Like, Polvich sounds like a Russian name. I'll check later, but it may not be some type of Slavic name. But and he, you know what's interesting? What I was picking up Russian so much. If it's not Russian, then it's some type of Slavic community. It's something like that. Like, he was trying to do something or interact with someone that belonged to that community at least. But yeah, but what I was saying from before, someone wasn't using their real name. Something isn't real about somebody's name. Okay. The Five of Cups is in the resolution going towards the Libra card. The Justice card would be court. You know. And it feels documentation. Something's wrong. Like, he could have been trying to sue someone, serve someone in court. And something is off about the document. One scenario about it is the spirit emphasizing that someone wasn't using their real name, but that alone could have been interfering with the documents. Or they could have been working with the court secretively and made some type of interesting promise with the court that they won't be using their real name. And it could be for a religious reason that someone wasn't using their real name. Or something about the name they didn't want on a document. Like, they didn't want on a document. Or they refused to have printed on a document for some reason. But that interfered with him serving someone. That interfered with him serving someone. That interfered with the court even processing the claim that he's saying that somebody stole this and they didn't process this and they didn't work on that and whatever it was. But he needed the proper documentation. Like, Five of Cups going towards the Justice card, there's this element where somebody can't do anything. The court can't process anything. The police department, they can't process anything. But I also get the idea of an investigation. Like, there needs to be an investigation What's interesting? I also get the idea of where he worked as well. Like that, something could be going on with where he worked. I don't know if that was happening. I mean, his work would be his. I don't know what kind of work he was doing at the time, but it's something about his work that he was doing involve contractors, like, and involve investors, whatever. I don't know, some type of work he was doing. Like somebody may need to investigate a coworker that he was working with, or whatever work he was doing. The work needs to be investigated. Or the place, like they need to. And I keep getting this idea of real estate every time as I'm talking about his work. Whatever he was doing, if he had a regular job and he had some type of real estate situation attached to that, that could have been a situation too. More than one, that could have been his side thing, and that may not have been known. Some type of real estate, investing, but interacting with people that, and doing money deals with people that it's not good. It ended up really bad here for him. With the justice card in the future, like an investigation still may be taking place here. So the man that hit him was, I believe he was a businessman from Guam. He was a businessman from Guam. And that man could have had I keep getting real estate as I'm like something's real estate related about that individual. Someone's real estate. I also get a partner. So someone was real estate related about the man that they said hit him. Someone was real estate related. Something that he had going on here, real estate, is connected to that man. Is connected to that man. Whatever he was trying to do contractor wise is connected to that man. But I keep getting partner. So that man that they said hit him, his partner, I don't know what that man's sign is, but something's going on with that man's partner. So the man that hit him has a partner that created a heist somehow. Something like that. Something really fishy like that. Something really fishy like that. Really shady like that. Where the man that hit him, that could have been, as devious as it seems, like that could have been a planned hit of some kind. But it's bringing me back to the insurance. So when I said a planned hit, it's bringing me back to insurance. Some type of insurance. It could have been insurance, like he probably would have, I get for a property, like he would have received, his claim and serving someone and taking paperwork to court and trying to sue would have messed up the man's business, what would have messed up insurance. Oh my God. I mean, there's a lot of business ties going on here, like that man had, somehow that man had connected with what he had going on for some reason. Like, it's a really convoluted, but it's like, the man that hit him had partners, and then there's another situation where the man that hit him, something's going on with his business, that he could have had a business in the city, or something's going on with his business partners. Like Robert could have had an interaction with one of his business partners. The man that hit him, one of his business partners. Somebody here could have been the business partner to that man that hit him. Something like that. And they devised a plan because they didn't want to lose insurance, or Robert, he could have gained insurance to a property that he was trying to invest in. He could have gained some type of insurance because of money loss that somebody took, like they managed to get from him somehow, or information they managed to seize from him somehow to get some type of insurance for themselves. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on there. It's really convoluted. Like, there's a lot going on. Like, I can go on this for like hours because there's so much. But I try not to make the readings no longer than over a couple of minutes out of the hour, But I also get insurance fraud. I'm looking at the Five of Cups. There's insurance fraud. It has to do with insurance fraud. I don't know what he was doing, but aside from what he had going on here, there's also, it could be job-related insurance fraud, and investing insurance fraud, contracting insurance fraud. Insurance fraud is why is reason what somebody had a crazy motive is because of insurance fraud. Something's fraudulent about what he was trying to do, something that he was involved in with these people. It's insurance fraud related. Okay, it's insurance fraud. Wow, definitely insurance fraud. Okay, so I don't know, like from the beginning I was getting that he gave somebody a payment. I feel like he could have given somebody some type of payment. And I mean, of course you're gonna have a home, you're gonna want to buy a property, you want the house to be secure, you need insurance for the house. So you're gonna give somebody, $200,000 to hold it down, and they're telling you that your documents didn't process, they didn't, whatever it is that they didn't do, and they're telling you your document, we couldn't process your information, and then the wrong name, the name situation, I don't know if that's something that he did or somebody that he was interacting with, something that they did for processing, or either to get it processed or so that it wouldn't get processed. It just depends on what's going on, and serving somebody in court and suing and all of that for like insurance for a property, for insurance for a property, for his own home that he was already in, or for a new one, like for a new one, building a new one, moving into a new one, needing to investigate the job, like whatever kind of his job was, what he had going on here, that's one element of the kind of work he was involved in, That's a lot, and then they have this crazy heist going on here, and then that man that hit him has these partners. These elements could be there. One of these elements could be like that man's partner, and he didn't know. He may not have known that. That may not have been something that he knew. All right, let's look at the outcome here. What's going on? All right, so the Aeon is underneath, and then you have the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands would reside with fire sign, collaboration. Ace of Wands would be, I keep getting new, like it has something to do with a new property. That's an outcome. It had to do with a new property. Something about a property, like the insurance for a property, like contracting, like you're getting a contractor, fixing a property, buying one, selling one, insurance, investing, whatever, what contractors, whatever it was, it has something to do with that. Let me do another outcome. And so that man, the man is hitting him. The man hits him, and then they claim he tried to go conceal a car and do all that. Somebody didn't want to get served in court, or he. If it's not him, then if it's not him that wanted to get served in court, it's a partner that man that hit him has tied to him, that he may not have wanted to lose that partner. Something like that. Like he may not have wanted to lose a partner, or if it's an agency. The man that hit him could have owned or may have worked for an agency or company that Robert inquired for something for, related to a property. So if Robert goes and sues that property, that the man that hit him, that property is connected to an agent. Okay. Jesus. Okay, Lord have mercy. The insurance fraud issue is connected to a need that Robert had for a property. The issue with the insurance and the stolen money and information not processing is connected to an agency or company that the man that hit him is that has a collaboration with that company, or he owns that company or something. He owns that agency, or he works for that agency, or he works, or there's people in that agency or company that he collabs with, or he knows, or he's friends with, or something like that. So if Robert were to sue, it would have been, that company would have been done for. That agency would have been done for. That company, that agency would have been done for. That's it. Especially if you're dealing with money, and the way money is being handled, and insurance fraud, and him claiming, going to the court to serve, to get somebody served in court, and to sue because of insurance fraud, some type of fraudulent situation, and fake names, and faxing, and fake numbers, and blockage, and whatever it was. That would have really messed up somebody's, that would have really messed up somebody's, their business, their company, the agency that the man that him is connected to, or that he owns, or something like that, or he knows somebody, that he knows someone that works for that, whatever it was that works for them, something like that. Okay. Let me do another outcome on the Ace of Wands. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Oh, that is do. Oh, that's whatever. No, let me do that again. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Ten of Swords with the Ace of Wands energy. But they wouldn't file. Someone wouldn't file the claim, if it could be claim related. It was the swords. It's the two energies of these two men. Wands, swords. They wouldn't file. They wouldn't file. They wouldn't file his claim. They wouldn't file his information. They wouldn't file. Or it could be job related. It's the spirit said it also investigate some type of, the job will be what he's doing here, one part of it. But it's like they wouldn't file the claim. They wouldn't file something. His documentation. Or they refuse to file the documentation. But I get it can have some, it's race related. Race is the race issue is involved here. Okay. And just him wanting to be in some type of environment that someone may not have wanted him to be in, if it's a neighborhood thing, you know. All right, so that was Robert Mirage's reading. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about it, you know where to find me. May his spirit go with peace. Be well. Take care. Bye.